What's going on, world? It's your girl Napalm. You already know I'm back with another one, alright? Today, I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite stock plugins in Pro Tools. This is something I use on almost every mix that I do in some form or fashion, alright? And that plugin is EQ3. So let's get into it. We'll go to the channel insert, find EQ, and then you'll see EQ3 comes up in two different types of instances, a 1-band and a 7-band EQ, and we're gonna go with the 7-band EQ. So let me walk you through the interface of this plugin. At the very top, we have the input meter. Right below that, we have the output meter. When using these meters, you want to make sure that the signal is contained in between the green section. Green indicates normal levels. Yellow is going to be anywhere between -6 decibels and 0 decibels. Yellow indicates pre-clipping levels. Anything in these will be red. Red indicates full-scale clipping, and you definitely want to try to avoid this. Below that section, we have the input gain. The input gain control sets the input of the plugin before EQ processing, letting you make up gain or prevent clipping at the plugin input stage. And alternatively, output gain pretty much does the same thing, except it sets the output gain after EQ processing. One difference you will notice in between the input and the output gain control sections is this input polarity control that's in the input section. The input polarity button lets you invert the polarity of an input signal to help compensate for phase anomalies occurring in multi-microphone environments. Getting into the EQ band control section, we'll start with this low pass filter. As you see, there's a low pass filter and a high pass filter, and they pretty much act in the same way. It's also a low filter, a low mid filter, a high mid filter, and a high filter. These 5 bands work exactly the same way, except 2 of the filters have a bell curve and a high shelf curve or a low shelf curve. Here you can see the frequency graph display, and the frequency graph display has colors that coincide with the band frequencies. The low pass filter and the high pass filter are gray. Back in the band section, we have these band enable buttons that allow us to turn the bands on and off. We also have the high pass and the low notch section, which enable us to go in between the high pass filter and the Knox function. The high pass attenuates all frequencies below the frequency setting at the selected slope, and the low notch filter attenuates a narrow band of frequencies centered around the frequency setting. Below those, we have the Q control, which determines how wide or how narrow you will be cutting or boosting the frequency. Below that, we have the frequency control section, which allows you to choose what frequencies you want to affect. And the high pass band is the same, except of course it's a high pass filter and a high pass notch, but it works the same. In the low filter section, it also gives you the option to choose between a low shelf filter and a bell filter. Then we also have the Q section, just like before, the frequency section. Under that, you have the gain section that determines by how many decibels you cut or boost the signal by. The difference between these 5 bands and the low pass and high pass filter bands is that these 5 bands can only affect certain frequencies. Each of these bands will only control a certain frequency range in the spectrum. Like here, when I go to try to go as far as I can to the right, it won't let me because it's limited. And each of these 5 bands is going to react the same way, except of course they're going to be in different frequencies. You also have the ability to use fine resolution controls by pressing Command click in Mac and Control click in Windows. Fine resolution control allows you to have more control over the numbers that you're controlling when you're moving the knobs up and down. You can also reset default values quickly by pressing Option click. Another handy feature is pressing Shift click in order to reverse or invert the gain button. Now that y'all understand the controls of the EQ, I'm going to play this vocal I have and change around the parameters so you can hear how it affects it.
Let's go, love. I'm saying, ain't you tired of waiting? We could leave this whole place behind, yeah. Let's go, love. I'm saying, ain't you tired of waiting? We could leave this whole place behind. Let's go, love. I'm saying, ain't you tired of waiting? We could leave this whole place behind, yeah. Let's go, love. I'm saying, let's go, love. I'm saying, ain't you tired of waiting? We could leave this whole place behind, yeah. Let's go, love. I'm saying, ain't you tired of waiting? We could leave this whole place behind. Let's go, love. I'm saying, ain't you tired of waiting? We could leave this whole place behind, yeah. Let's go, love. I'm saying, ain't you tired of waiting? We could leave this.
I think y'all get the idea. In the future, I'm going to definitely be making some more videos on some of the dope stock plugins Pro Tools has to offer, because I really feel like a lot of those plugins are slept on, okay? But until the next video, y'all be easy.